DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we're shaping the future of animal health with pioneering science, connected technology, and insights-driven solutions to bring our customers an unparalleled portfolio of choices to improve cattle care and operational efficiency. We support you and your legacy by helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. It's going to be a great show. We have Dr. Todd Bilby with us today. We've had him on the show before. We've talked about some of the things that we can do in synchronizing cows with natural coverage. Now we're going to take the next step. We're going to talk about timed AI and some of these heifers and much more. Stay tuned.
Meet Vault, EverAg's all-in-one risk management platform built to bring clarity and confidence to every decision. With Vault on your mobile device, you get a fast, easy view of the numbers that matter most. Real-time percent hedged, P&L performance, current market data, and more. Vault is here for cattle producers, ready when you are. Download the app for iOS or Android today and take more control of your operations risk management.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. We got Dr. Todd Bilby here with us, and Dr. Bilby is the Director of Dairy Technical Services for Merck Animal Health. He's been a consultant, he's been a faculty member, he's somebody that has worked with ruminant repro, beef cows and dairy cows for a long time.
Long time, yes.
And it's awesome to get him on the show and talk about these topics that really is where the rubber meets the road for our cow, calf, and dairy operations of making money or not making money. And, you know, why don't we kickstart and go back into some of the things we kind of started with on the synchronizing cows and natural coverage, and then that'll lead us into where we're going to go today with taking it to the next level.
Sure. Yeah, I think the last show we did garnered some response. It got some good emails and it got some good conversations going, and so hopefully some people have realized the benefits of just, it's somewhat a simple concept that we forget about, right? If we can just get a calf on the ground sooner, it's alive longer to eat more, and they have higher weaning weights and all the extra benefits that come along with that. But in order to get them bred up sooner, you know, introducing a prostaglandin, say 4 to 5 days after you throw that bull in there, will really tighten that synchronization on your cow herd. And it's not doing the full 3 injections and running them through the chute and timed insemination, but it will achieve, you know, similar benefits as from a standpoint of shortening that calving interval.
Well, you know, we talked about not only having bigger calves at weaning, but you have more heifers to choose from as replacements. I mean, it just helps with your genetic evaluation within your herd, moving that forward with more options. But geez, those calves, you give them another 21 days or another 42 days.
Right. They're a lot bigger. And then you're able to, I mean, so some of those studies, those heifers, to your point, that were born in that first 21 days, a higher percentage of them were cycling at the time we needed them to. A higher percentage of them had higher pregnancy rates when we wanted them to. And a higher percent of them stayed in the herd longer. Yep. So, I mean, the benefits are realized for a long period of time. And sometimes it can get forgot about, right? You get the breeding season, then you forget exactly, you know, where those benefits are going. But it's for years to come.
Yeah. So just for y'all, to a reminder, let's just tell them a little bit about what you do in that prostaglandin shot. You're going to bring those cows. You're going to turn the bull in.
Turn the bull in, absolutely. And you've hopefully done your due diligence. You got good bulls. Breeding soundness exam's been done prior, and you're ready to put the bull in. Put the bull in. 4 or 5 days later, run those cows through the chute. Give them a shot of prostaglandin. Now, some people say, well, wait a minute, you had the bull in there. Some of them probably got bred, and that's the whole point. A prostaglandin injection only works about 6 or 7 days into a cow's estrus cycle that it's really going to have the effect of killing the CL and bring her in heat. And so those bulls will hopefully breed that first 4, 5, 6 days of that cow's estrus cycle. And so when you run them through the chute and give all the cows a shot of estramate or prostaglandin, then you're not killing the CL because it's too early. So those cows will still stay pregnant from the bull, but you're going to force the rest of the herd to show a heat within the next 2 to 5 days, so the bull will cover the rest of them. So then you've really shortened that interval.
And I think it's important to note, you don't need to increase bull numbers when you do this.
Right.
You just keep the same number of bulls, and that was another misconception that people had, is I'm going to have so many more bulls. You don't have to change anything.
No, you don't have to change anything. That's right. Just make sure your bulls are good, which is the same thing hopefully you've been doing year to year, right?
Yep.
And so making sure you have good bulls in there and being able to run them through the chute one time, you can really realize a big advantage.
It's awesome. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go to the next level. We're going to talk about heifers. Dr. Dan here with Dr. Todd. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey folks, Dr. Dan here, and welcome to the Cattle Intel by Neogen. We're going to talk about down cows. And there's multiple reasons why an animal or cattle can go down. And it can be infectious disease such as listeria or histophilus. It can be a toxin like sulfur. It can be like polioencephalomalacia. It can be due to trauma from slipping or hitting their head and different things like that. And so getting a proper diagnosis of why the animal is down is important to the treatment. Generally speaking, when an animal is down, veterinarians have a broad spectrum treatment because we don't know exactly why the animal is down at this time. So it includes an antibiotic, a steroid, and usually some B vitamins. But make sure that the animal is comfortable. Roll the animal over every 6 hours to prevent compartmentalization. And then make sure that if the animal's not responding, to humanely euthanize that animal within 36 to 48 hours. This has been your Cattle Intel from Neogen.
Are you a cattle feeder looking to manage for a stronger and more profitable set of cattle? Look no further than Igenity Feeder. Igenity Feeder utilizes DNA to gain insight into your cattle's genomic potential, with the information to predict performance, quality, and economic endpoints for cattle feeders. Animals are scored and ranked in a simple format, driving more precise and accurate management decisions. Igenity Feeder gives you the power to predict days on feed, manage variability within lots, characterize carcass performance, and focus on metrics important to you and your operation. With the data provided, you will identify superior animals earlier and maintain high operational efficiency. Maximize your profit and optimize performance with Igenity Feeder.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Todd Bilby. He is the Director of Dairy Technical Services for Merck Animal Health and is a wealth of information on all things repro, dairy, beef, you name it. Just been a lot of fun to kick ideas back and forth. And you know, as we talked about synchronizing and getting that calving period tighter, you know, if we're sitting there at home going, okay, I've done this, now I want to go to the next step. I want to take it to the next level and work more with improving the genetics of the herd. I want to get some of these heifers integrated into this. What would be some of the things you'd be starting to think about?
Sure. I think a good next step is if you really want to utilize reproductive technologies, improve genetic gain within your herd, continue to tighten that calving season and get good replacements, a good next step is to look at using timed artificial insemination in your heifers.
Okay.
And you know, the reason I say start with your heifers, hopefully you'll realize the benefit from doing it, and then you can judge whether it's worth moving that into your cow herd, or if you like just using the one shot of prostaglandin and that achieves what you need from the cow herd perspective and you're getting your genetic base from your heifers. And so you don't have a calf on the side, so the heifer's usually a little easier to work.
Yep.
You can start, and there's some advantage to time breeding those heifers roughly 30 days before you're going to go into your cow herd. That way you can get these heifers pregnant, bred, so that, you know, 9 months later when they have a calf, they're calving and they have a little more time to recover after that calving, so that now they're synced up, so to speak, with your cow herd, and then when you can get everything pregnant in the same amount of time.
Yeah, and I like having those heifers go first and be done with the calving those heifers that don't quite know the operation yet.
Yes.
And what they're supposed to do, and help them out. And I'm still a little fresh in the first month of the calving season and not ticked off yet.
Yeah, right. Another advantage, right? Because they're all calving in hopefully in a very smaller window, so yeah, you can keep an eye on them while you're fresh, and by the time you're wore out, hopefully the older cows are doing their thing.
Exactly, the cows can carry me through. But so talk a little bit about what some of the process is then.
Yeah, so and whether this cow herd, anything to the breeding season, I always recommend, we usually start our show and end the show with saying, get your vet involved. Yep. That's always important. Have your veterinarian on board. The bullsteads have some great AI technicians. Some university folks have good repro people. Whoever your repro go-to sources are, and the veterinarian should be involved. Sit down and make a plan, right? Don't forget about your bulls. If bulls are involved, breeding soundness exams, etc. Make sure you have the facilities you need, the labor you need. Get a plan. That would be the first and foremost you need to do before you dive into trying to time inseminate heifers. Because there's some headache there, right? Running them through the chute 3 times to do this is not easy, especially if it's your first time. So planning is key.
So sit down, first of the year or whenever. Correct. And give yourself plenty of time to make sure you can get everybody and everything lined up. Yes. Is going to be very, very important. Yes. So before we dive into all the mechanics, let's take a break and let's come back. And when we come back, let's have our planning's done. Yep. And now we're going to get to work. Yep. All right. Good. Folks, we're going to take a break. Dr. Todd Bilby, I'm Dr. Dan Thompson. We'll be right back after these messages.
Success in the cattle business hinges on a lot of different people playing their part. From the vet to the cowboy and the nutritionist to the feed truck driver, you rely on them to get their job done right, and so do your cattle. Your expectations for the vaccines you use should be no different. Bimeta's cattle vaccines were developed and are made and sold by men and women in the cattle business. No smoke and mirrors, just real-world protection that you can rely on. Go to bimetabiologicals.com to learn more.
In the livestock industry, castration is a common practice to ensure proper herd management. All methods are painful, regardless of the age of the animal. At Solvit, we could not ignore the clear industry need for better castration solutions. So we developed LidoBand, a novel lidocaine-impregnated elastrator, addressing the pain associated with band castration. It provides local anesthesia throughout the castration process. LidoBand, a small device that can make a big difference.
Stressors that trigger bovine respiratory disease are all around. So when you spot BRD in your herd, turn to Zuprevo, the fast that lasts. Zuprevo is rapidly absorbed in as little as 45 minutes and lasts up to 28 days. Because in the race against BRD, you need to win. Ready, set, Zuprevo. In case of human injection, seek immediate medical advice. For use in beef and non-lactating dairy cattle only. For prescribing information, talk to your veterinarian or visit Zuprevo.com.
When the ones who have your heart need your help, count on us for everything they deserve, delivered fast. We'll work hard for you so you can work hard for your dreams.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Todd Bilby. Dr. Bilby is the Director of Dairy Technical Services for Merck Animal Health and a pretty busy guy. And we got him sit down for a minute in between planes and cars and that, and we appreciate it. Okay, our planning is done. We've worked our veterinarians involved, our AI stud, we've got the semen selected. Now it's go time. Talk to me a little bit about some of the things that you're starting to tell people on the ground.
Yeah, so telling people on the ground, to achieve success with your timed AI, you've got a plan in place, you've got the people ready to go. Hopefully you've got these heifers, and this is part of the plan that probably even goes before the plan, making sure they're hitting puberty and the right weight and age and all the things that go into this heifer having a cycle. They need to be cycling, if at all possible, before starting this. Another nice advantage of doing synchronization is for those that are on the edge of actually showing heat and going through puberty, it will help kickstart a lot of those, right? And so you'll get a lot of those bred up. Several of the synchronization protocols that we recommend involve a progesterone, whether it's a cedar or a MGA feeding. But this really helps with kickstarting heifers into cycling, and it's really important that they have at least one cycle before they're running through and getting timed inseminated, because we know it's more the second and third heats that are the better heats. That first heat's usually not as good. So we want to get them at the right weight and age so that they're cycling, so they have at least one heat, so when we run them through the synchronization program and we time inseminate them, we're going to get the best fertility possible.
Perfect. So, you mentioned that we're going to use progesterone. Kind of walk me through what one of these synchronization programs would look like.
Sure, and I'll tell you, because I am fortunate to jump on dairy and beef.
Yep.
I go to two resources, one for each of them. Since we're talking about beef, beefrepro.org. I highly recommend that to anybody. I go there because the hours and the times, whether it's a cow or heifer, on when we inseminate, what products we use and when, are different between cows and heifers. If you're using sex semen now, you'll see protocols on that website that if you're using sex semen, you should be using these protocols. If you're using heifers, you should be using this protocol.
No way.
Right? And it's same with dairy. So
we had four daughters. What did we do wrong?
She picked the wrong protocol.
Gosh darn it. I didn't know.
Yeah, you should have talked to me.
I love all my daughters. Just kidding.
But yeah, so you can go on to beefrepro.org and look, and there's a variety of synchronization programs to go on there. But if we were to pick some called the long-term protocols that you'll see on there, that's feeding MGA for 14 days or putting a cedar in for 14 days. You'll pull that off. You allow them to show that first heat that you don't breed to.
Yep.
Right? And then roughly, depending on the protocol you're using, 16 to 19 days later, you're given a shot of prostaglandin to force that heat. And then you can heat check and breed, or you can time breed, depending on what labor and abilities you have in that arena. And then your protocol's done, and hopefully a bull's cleaning up after that.
So when they do a timed breed, what's kind of an average time or a typical time from that shot of prostaglandin to breeding?
Yep. So depending on the protocol, but usually you give prostaglandin, you're somewhere in that 54 to 72 hours later, they're seeing a stick of semen.
Okay. Well, it's definitely changed and evolved. It's just awesome to see what we can do with these herds, and just great information from Dr. Bilby. Very humbling. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up on Repro within your cow herd with Dr. Todd Bilby.
When it comes to treating BRD, you want a product that you can count on to get the job done at an affordable price. Macrosyn by Bimeda delivers on both. A straight-shooting, no BS tulathromycin that does what it's supposed to do. End of story. You don't need to take our word for it, though. Go to macrosyn.com for customer testimonials and head-to-head trial results. For your cattle and your bottom line, choose Macrosyn.
Time is money on the farm, and your cows are less productive when they're stressed. The Alertus on-farm test from IDEX allows you to quickly test cowside and identify open or pregnant cows within minutes on your schedule in the parlor, barn, or chute. It's more efficient for your farm, very simple to use, and puts you in control. With minimal training and reliable, fast results, sample-based pregnancy testing is better for beef and dairy producers. Learn more at idex.com/DocTalk.
When you spot BRD in your cattle, that's your golden opportunity to target infection and its associated fever with a single dose of Resflor Gold, the industry standard dual therapy. To learn more, talk to your Merck Animal Health rep or your vet and see label at resflorgold.com. Animals intended for human consumption must not be slaughtered within 38 days of treatment. This product is not approved for use in female dairy cattle 20 months of age or older, including dry dairy cows.
It's the crews, cattle, and accolades that keep you striving for the best that's ever been. It's more than a banner or a great calf crop. It's everything you deserve. And for that, we're here with all you need. valleyvet.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Todd Bilby, who is the Director of Dairy Technical Services for Merck Animal Health. And has been on faculty at universities. He has been a consultant. He's very well respected within our industry, and we're glad to get you here and get you on the show, because I think anybody sitting there watching this show is you should be taking notes as fast as you can write and getting hand cramps. But let's go back to the, defining our why.
Right.
We do these things, and sometimes, why are we doing this? Why? It's not just something that I want to make sure I'm doing something to sound like I know what I'm doing when I go to town. There are some sound science and sound reasoning behind using timed AI in these heifers.
Absolutely, and I know we've kind of focused on, and I mentioned that, how good it is to get them in puberty. Those ones are part way or close, and we can use some of these progesterone to get them in puberty, and that's one advantage. Shorten the calving window, it's another advantage. But introducing new genetics to your herd, hopefully your heifers are your better population of genetic, that's your genetic base that's providing, the cow herd, right? And so being able to select semen that will improve your genetic base, but even importantly, especially in your virgin heifers, you can select from proven bulls that have low birth weights. We know that you can, if a heifer has problem calving, she's much less likely to breed back and much less likely, obviously, to stay in your herd. Yep. And so reducing improving your calving ease is also big. And then, of course, that genetic base that we talk about is just, that's where a big opportunity lies on the heifers.
You always want to pick the better. You want every generation should be better.
Absolutely.
And every bull, every year there should be better bulls available, and you don't have to own the whole bull.
Right, exactly. That's right. You don't have to own the whole bull, and to that point, using timed insemination, you can cut your bull power down.
Right.
And, it's another cost savings, at least in your heifers. If you're assuming you're getting 50 or 60% of them bred at that first timed AI, you can theoretically remove 50% of your bulls. And so there's a cost savings there. And then keep in mind, 9 months later, now you've got these hopefully not having problems. They calve in early. And those ones that are having heifer calves early in the calving season are the ones, hopefully your AI, and the ones you're going to select for your replacements.
That's a great point. And so, as we're selecting those replacements, they've always told me always pick a replacement out of the first 21 days.
Yep, right, exactly.
That's where we want to be.
Yeah.
And you make a good point that the ones that are going to calve in that first 21 days, you're pretty much assured that those were your AI heifers, because the others come in 21 days later.
Correct.
Cool. Yeah. Well, again, fantastic show.
Yep.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate Dr. Todd Bilby, Director of Dairy Technical Services, Merck Animal Health. Remember, always work with your local veterinarian, and if you want to know more about what we do at DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson, here with Dr. Todd Bilby, and we'll see you down the road.
At Merck Animal Health, we support you and your legacy by helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow.
In the livestock industry, castration is a common practice to ensure proper herd management. All methods are painful, regardless of the age of the animal. At Solvit, we could not ignore the clear industry need for better castration solutions. So we developed LidoBand, a novel lidocaine-impregnated elastrator, addressing the pain associated with band castration. It provides local anesthesia throughout the castration process. LidoBand, a small device that can make a big difference.
This Cattle Intel is brought to you by Neogen.
Welcome to this segment on injection techniques. In cattle production, the implementation of management practices is important for the health and welfare of our animals. In doing so, producers and veterinarians must prevent, treat, and control disease. One way in which we are able to do this is through the injection of vaccinations or other medications. When you think about giving a proper injection, you have to consider a couple factors. Number one is adequate restraint. Number two is proper anatomical location on the animal. Number three is the syringe being used. And number four is needle selection. Adequate restraint is important in order to achieve that proper anatomical location. It's also important to maintain the safety of personnel and the animal, and also to prevent equipment failure. When we look at achieving proper anatomical location, you want to make sure that you're giving injections in accordance with quality assurance guidelines. You also want to make sure that that area of the animal is clean and dry. When it comes to the syringe is important for administering the proper dose. And last, needle selection involves identifying the proper gauge and length in order to give the injection that minimizes the amount of stress and pain to the animal.
Thanks for watching Cattle Intel by Neogen.
It's the drive, the passion, the unbridled desire to be the world's greatest. It's the early mornings, late nights, and every